you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much for seeing me. It's amazing. Thank you.
Of course. It's so interesting because at some point you get these scripts that you're playing Agnes, and then we kind of see it come to life when you get to production a little bit. Did you realize or expect the scenes to be as funny as they were with your character when you were reading the script, or did it exceed expectations?
I mean, she's definitely a fun character. And it's great because she's so different to who I am naturally. I promise I'm not spooky and scary all the time with this intense stare. But yeah, it was really fun to get to play around with. I think she's a great character because she's got a bit of a dual personality. We At the start of the season, she's a bit more guarded, and I think she thinks the way to be Wednesday's best friend, who's the person she's enamored by, is to be as similar to her as possible. And then by the end, we kind of see her break down those walls and expose a little bit more vulnerability because she is quite insecure at heart. And I think that's what's motivated her to do all the crazy wild things that she does in the first half of the season.
Absolutely. Take me through that kind of shift of she is, she loves Wednesday. She wants to help Wednesday. She's not being accepted by a lot of Wednesday's peers, like Enid. And then there is a little bit of like, okay, we are getting Agnes accepted in this outcast a little bit. Take me through kind of like reading that in the script and then like filming those scenes because I feel like there's a lot going on with that kind of shift as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I really loved filming the scenes where she has like a back and forth with Enid. Doing those with Emma and kind of exploring their relationship dynamics is really fun. We'd go from like, because she's her and Jenna have both been like big sisters to me, so going from like chatting and having fun, or even we did a ballet bar in the clock tower in one of the scenes. To go from that to having a back and forth and giving each other dirty looks was definitely fun. And then it was great to explore a different side of her where she's kind of more herself and more an authentic version of who she is. And she's not hiding in anybody else's shadow anymore. And she's not trying to be anybody who she's not.
Absolutely. There is a really there was a cool dance sequence in season one of Wednesday, and you know what? Cool dance sequence that you get to be part of in season two. I mean, like I know when you get the breakdown for it, the choreography and figuring everything out in the song and everything, there is this like, wow, people are gonna go crazy, but like people are starting to really go crazy. Like, what's that been like for you, kind of thinking about the reaction of that scene and that sequence?
It's really unbelievable. I mean, I try not look at my social media too much right now because it's almost a little bit scary, but I love the fact that I get to be a part of a show that has so many fans that really love it, and I love that they've seemed to have responded to Agnes well. I think that's amazing, and I feel very lucky to be in this position. And then even luckier to get to dance to a Lady Gaga song. It's pretty unbelievable, pretty surreal. It's definitely a pinch me moment. Um, I remember when I came back from Ireland, just thinking, did that actually happen, or did I just dream that in my head?
Yeah, absolutely. And to kind of add to that a little bit, when you were talking to your family, your friends, your team, when you were cast for season two of Wednesday playing Agnes, did you feel like you were in a unique kind of situation from a casting storytelling perspective? Because there's familiar territory and unfamiliar territory at the same time, where we know about the Wednesday world and like the Addams family, but we also don't know these new characters, Nevermore Academy. Did you think about that at all? Because I find that the most interesting thing as well.
I mean, I was a huge fan of season one, so getting to go from being a fan to getting to join in and be a part of this magical world of Nevermore that Tim and Alan Miles built through the first season that we've got to continue through this next season was crazy. When I got the role, I didn't really tell too many people, to be honest. Obviously I couldn't tell my friends, but
Yeah.
just my family were pretty much the only people who knew, to be honest. So yeah, it was a lot to keep under my hat for so long.
No, absolutely. Um, it's interesting because season like one drops, big hit, everyone waits for season two. There's this kind of all these kind of announcements and press of we're gonna get part one and part two, season two of Wednesday. It drops worldwide on Netflix across all these different time zones. I just kind of wanted to know, like, what is that like to be part of a worldwide phenomenon? It's a simple question, but just what is that like for you? Not just being part of Wednesday, just like at the bigger scale of things.
It's it's really crazy. It really doesn't feel real, and I don't know. I'm trying to keep myself nice and grounded, and um, obviously
Mhm.
it hasn't changed me as a person, but it's like I said, I'm just very grateful to be part of a show that's has so many people who really love it and get to be a part of a show that I think has an important message that being yourself, I think, is an incredibly important message, and embracing your individuality is, I think, a theme that runs throughout the show, but specifically in that scene that I have with Enid, where she tells me, "Be your own psycho, Agnes." I think,
Yeah.
yeah, that was probably one of my favorite scenes in the season, just because it was a really heartfelt moment, and I wanted it to feel really truthful because I feel like it's something that's important to have as a theme right now
Mhm.
because especially with my generation, I think it's difficult to try and avoid comparing yourself on social media in particular. It can always be difficult. So I think navigating that and getting to be a part of spreading that message was important to me.
Mhm. Obviously, Agnes like understands Wednesday because she is the Stalker fan, right? And she knows everything. Is it cool to think about the fact that like Agnes, Enid, you know, Sheriff Deputy Santiago, those are like few like there's only a little bit of characters besides her family that kind of understand Wednesday Addams, right? That's interesting too to think about, right? Like there's a lot of people in the academy that like that don't see it eye to eye, but like Enid and Agnes really kind of understand Wednesday.
Yeah, I mean, she's completely enamored by her. So she's spent time studying her and watching her every move. And she's obviously tried to embody as much of her physicality and as much of her traits as she can. So, and it was actually very interesting in the body swap episode, which I think they both did flawlessly. But I think it's interesting that Agnes is the first one who's suspicious and she finds something unusual. I think she's the first one to notice something's up.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And then last question. So much happens before you go to camera on something like Wednesday. You're talking to all the departments, figuring it out, and then you get to production. So from an acting storyteller perspective, Evie, you can see it as two journeys, right? Before filming Wednesday and after filming Wednesday, or does it feel like one big journey for you with multiple steps in between?
I think it did feel like one big journey, all the way from the very start when I got a self-tape through and I didn't even know what I was auditioning for, all the way through to filming my final few scenes. And it was really an emotional roller coaster. And I'm just so grateful to have had this opportunity. It's really insane. A lot of the character prep that I did was I made some mood boards. I watched a lot of old movies actually, things like Whatever Happened to Baby Jane or One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest,
Yeah.
just to develop her elements of madness. Because yeah, she's definitely a very layered character, and it was great to have a character that I could really get my teeth into and really explore.
Absolutely. Season two, part one and part two, worldwide on Netflix for Wednesday, which is so exciting. You did such an amazing job with Agnes. Congratulations. Thank you so
So
much,
much.
Evie. It was so great chatting with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was lovely to meet you.
Love to meet you too. Thanks.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.